Hello folks, so we are live again. Had some issue with the previous stream. I don't know why, but I was just not able to see if my screen was visible or not, and that's the reason. I'll just wait for some few, 3 to 4 minutes. We'll see if someone is coming up or not, and either someone is coming up or not. I will, just start coding. So yep. So in this stream we will be learning how to use animation, how to implement, how to create animations in your Flutter application. So this talk is going to come this I'm telling a talk, it's not talk. This live stream going to be on like completely on a basic, how we can get started with it. Sorry, got some I'm just sharing this new link with everyone, so you know I can get some views, at least the relevant one only. But yeah, because it's a new stream, my channel is not that popular, so probably we will not get that much viewers or anything else. But yeah, doing these streams are kind of completely you know selfish reason for me, probably you can say that, because I want to improve myself. I'm putting this stream as a reference to myself, how I actually communicate with the people, how actually communicate about code, about technical stuff with the people. So that's the reason I'm doing so. I want to improve myself, and I think this I feel that this is the best option to do so as of now. As the COVID is going on, there are not much, even now, not much online meetups are not even happening. So yeah, okay, so let's get started. And I don't know if anyone is watching it or not. Hey chat. Okay, so let's start animating. Okay, so let me show you what we will be going to do. If you have idea about the swipe to reply animation in WhatsApp chat like this, so we will be implementing kind of animation in our application like this. Okay, so uh, it was asked by one of my Twitter follower, or kind of follow me on Twitter, and ask me a question about like how I can actually he can actually implement that. So I did some kind of small code and shared it with him, and he did as a reference, and he actually created that UI, and it was really good. It went really well. So I'm thoughting of doing the same. Like I'm going to implement just swipe animation. You can add then whatever you want to add. So yeah, yeah, just let's get started. Enough of talk. Okay, so we will be, let me just use our live templates, stateful. Okay, we will be using stateful widget, and I'm just going to create this UI first. So what we have right now is a container only. Why it's not refreshing? If anyone has a question regarding animation or anything else state management, I'm a Mobex enthusiast as of now. So you can ask me in a chat meanwhile my app is running. So right now we have a container over here, only container. So we are going to wrap it with the scaffold, as we have to, we will need some material component, material widget. Then we will have a container. Inside this container we will have a child as a text, like hello codify. How are you? Okay, so if I hot refresh it, we got the text. Let's put it in the center, and I don't know why this is not working, this autocomplete, or I'm not getting the hints. I have to write invalided cache and start. Terminate it, yeah, just terminate it. Okay, so we will be doing, again I'm repeating, so we will be doing swipe to reply animation, something like WhatsApp has in their chat. Glad I have a MacBook. Earlier I was using a Windows system with 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM and SSD. I was not able to run my application. In the emulator, run my application in the emulator. Sorry for the noise, as the quarantine period is going on, the corona is going on, so everyone is home. Okay, I hope I get the suggestions now. Yeah, I'm getting it, and now I'll be put it in this container in the center. Okay, we got it. Let me add some padding over here, not margin, padding. Let's use symmetric one. Let's add a vertical as a 4.0 and horizontal as something like 8. 8 will work, yeah, I think. Okay, and let's add a colors dot, let's say blue dot with, let's add a shade 200. Yeah, it will work, yeah. Let's add this margin as 82. Okay, as of now it does nothing. Like if I want to swipe, so we have to add a swipe over here. So before that we have to use animation controller and animation and twin. Like we want to move this particular widget, this our container, from one end to other end. Like it's called a twinning process, like moving some object to one point to another. It's called twinning. So we are going to do so using animation controller and animation that Flutter provide. So for that we are going to use one mixin with ticker provider, single ticker provider state mixin. So it will be providing me a ticker object, this. Using that I can actually animate my stuff. Like it will provide me a tick, it's kind of a timer, and it will provide me a kind of a TikTok ability tick. I can actually do whatever I want to do in my UI. So that kind of stuff. So I'm going to first of all create my animation controller. Let's name it a controller. Okay, then I'm going to use animation. Okay, then name it as animation. In the init state, let's initialize our animation controller first. So controller is equal to animation controller. Okay, let me show you what it actually asks for to initialize of animation controller. So first of all, a value, duration. Okay, these are optional, and the required one, ticker provider, that we will get from this mixing. Okay, so first of all we have to add a vsync, a ticker provider, and add it as a this. Okay, so these, our animation controller has been initialized. We have now our animation controller instance in our hand. Let's initialize animation. Okay, so to initialize animation we were going to use twin. Okay, and we will give a type as offset probably, or offset, or a double. Let's let's not give a type as of now. It should be double. Let's put a double as of now. Okay, so it will have a begin and end value. Okay, so in the begin value, like from where it will start, our twinning process will start. So from 0th position. Okay, and at where it will end, so at the 1st position. As of now I will change it later on. And we have to convert, we have to animate this twin. So we will be adding animate. Okay, now animate accepts a parent. We can either pass a controller, okay, directly, or we can pass a curve animation that will again have a parent and curve and reverse curve. Like what kind of curve you want to provide in your animation, like bounce in, bounce out, or kind of stuff. Okay, I forgot to use a name parameter over here, begin, and okay, inside this curve I will pass my curves dot decelerate, bounce in, bounce out, anything you want. We will use a decelerate as of now. And inside this parent we will pass our controller, so it will bind with our controller. Okay, and we can, if we forward this controller, start over this animation, so this animation will trigger, and this animation will twin from 0th position to 1. Okay, so this is the basic hey Nilesh, sorry. Okay, so I hope now I am audible. Okay, so we are actually doing a WhatsApp's swipe to reply kind of animation, not exact, but I'm just going to follow what we will need to create a kind of animation. So we got animation controller, animation, we have initialized animation controller over here, and we have passed the ticker over here. This is my ticker over here that I have got from this single ticker provider state mixing. This from this mixing, if I remove it, you can see this will throw an error. Okay, and we have initialized our animation, and we are passing a twin object as a double and we are animating this twin and initializing in the animation object. Okay, I have to move this super dot in state over here. Perfect. And later on, don't forget to dispose your animation controller whenever your work is done. Okay, now we got our animation controller, we got our animation. Okay, now how we can actually use this animation inside our widget. Okay, so we got a container, and we want to move it from one place to another. Like when I swipe to right side, it should move, and it should bounce back to the similar same position again. To do so, I'm going to get so how our uh, widget will understand like I have swiped to the right. To do so, we will be using a gesture detector widget. So gesture detector widget comes up with really handy properties. So one of these is on horizontal drag update. So whenever a horizontal drag update will happen, it will give you some offset, it will give you some drag details that you can actually use to kind of know what is happening over here. So I'll just going to print these details, and let's see what happens. Okay, so see, we are getting some details. Like yeah, when I'm swiping right, we are getting some default details. When I'm swiping left, yes, we are getting some details. And in my opinion, we should not get any kind of details when we swipe upwards or downwards. Yeah, we are not getting it. Yeah, so let's you know we only want swipe to right. Yeah, we only want to swipe to right details. So we will only use details dot global position dot dx. If it is greater than 0, then yeah, so let's put it, if it is greater than 0, then it should do our stuff, like it should animate our widget. So I'm going to just again print our widget. Let's hot reload our application. Let's see if it is working or not. Let me try to the left first. It's not working. Let me try one over here. I might have forgotten something. It's still printing. I don't know if I should actually use a global position or some other position. It was local position or a global position. I actually missed something. Sorry for that. It should be. I know it should be a. Let's try delta. Let's try delta. I don't know. Uh, it worked. Yeah, it worked perfectly. So we will not get when anything any kind of data if we swipe to left. If we swipe to right, we will get the details. Yeah, we have actually swiped to right. So when we actually do a swipe to right, we want to animate this container from one place to another. To animate this container, what you can actually use, like you thought like I have to align something, or I have to do something like I have to play with the offset or something like that. So there is a one handy widget. And everything in Flutter is a widget. There are lots of widgets available in Flutter. So one of the widget is slide transition. Okay, it gets one value. It has one property called position, and it accepts animation offset. Okay, now we have to pass animated offset over here. Okay, so we have created an animation over here, and we are actually using a twin and double. Instead of that, we will convert it to the offset. Now this will throw an error. To resolve this error, we have to pass offset over here. We will set the initial value as 0 and 0, so it will be over here only, and we will end it as offset. And what we want to do is we want to move it to the, we want to move x-axis, not the y. So what we will change is our x-axis position, and we will animate it. Okay, now we will pass this animation over here. Okay, so we got our animation over here, and it's not throwing any kind of error over here. Now instead of these print details in the lab, we will tell our controller to move forward. Like, yeah, please go ahead and play our animation. So I'll just hot start my application. I don't need that, but yeah, I will hot start my application. Let's try to animate. We are facing some issue. It's error. Sorry, I forgot to give a duration over here only. Sorry. So we have to give a duration, like, for what amount of time we actually want to animate our widget. So we will use a millisecond as 300. We will restart our application so our animation controller can reinitialize, and let's do it. Yeah, it's done. Now I also want it back over this side. Okay, when this when we done swiping at the right hand side, we wanted to back it to the same position it was. So inside this animation controller dot forward, we've got one callback called when complete. Okay, inside this when complete, so whenever this forward thing is completed, we will use a controller dot reverse. Okay, so again using this, our animation will be done in the reverse thing. Okay, so let's hot start our application, and let's see. Yeah, it's working. It's working perfect. Now, let's try to remove this center widget. Let's put a bar. Okay, and put it in the column, and I want to do some extra stuff, so let's use a size box, height of 120 as of now. I want to just I want to replicate over here this thing. Yeah, we are getting it. Now over here, when we actually do this stuff, we also want that our we want a reply action, a reply icon that we get in the WhatsApp itself should appear at the same time. So let's do that thing also. Let me use a row for that. I don't know if I should use a row or not. I don't know if I should use a row or I just should use a stack or something like that. Let me try using a row. Okay, if we add icon over here, icons dot reply, yeah, this will work. Okay, we will get our icon over here. Okay, we want it outside this our screen bound. Okay, so let me just make a alignment. Yeah, let's use the alignment as of now to do this stuff. we will set alignment. So x will 0 0, it will be a default position, and if I give a x to the minus 0.2, I don't know if it will hide or not. Oh no, it's not hiding. Okay, let me try just animation straight away, if it will work, if it will work or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another animation object. I'm going to create an animation object for animation reply icon. I'm just going to name it randomly. Okay, I'll just copy this portion, I'll duplicate it, I'll pass my animation reply icon over here. The first position it will begin with minus 0.3, let's say, and it will end at 0th position. Okay, and let's use I think I should use a row inside this gesture. Yes, probably. I don't know if let me try out without putting. Let's add a slide transition over here. Position, and we will just pass our animation reply icon over here instead of this position. Let's hot restart our application and let's see if it is working or not. It worked a little bit. Let's try something more. We will pass our animation reply icon to the -1 position. Let's see if it is working or not. Okay, so we can't see the icon as of now, and when we will swipe, so our icon will appear. Okay, and it will go back instantly. Let's even put this as like -1. Let's try it out. Upside 0.2, let's say. No, let's say 0.1. I'm just randomly guessing the numbers. Yeah, -0.1 works perfectly, and this is how it looks. Okay, so this is how the animation and animation controller works, and some internal widgets that will help you to get your animation done easily. Beside of that, you can actually use animated builder, and there are lots of animated widget available within our Flutter framework, so you can actually use that and implement whatever kind of animation you want to do. So I'll just do one recap of what we have done over here. So we have created an animation kind of like WhatsApp swipe to reply. Okay, to do so we are using a controller and two type of animation that will have a twin offset. Okay, so we are maintaining the offset, and we are twinning in between the two offsets. First, for the animation that is for this text box, our container, and second one is for this icon. Okay, and we are initializing of one controller as we are using only one control, we want to do one kind of animation, and with the only this duration, so we will only need a controller. If we have multiple animation within a screen, within a widget, then we will need multiple controllers too. And then we are using a animation in which I'm passing a twin offset. So I'm moving from one offset to another. Let's say I'm beginning with the offset point 1 in minus to 0. uh, this is my x and this is y, and I'm ending it over here in 0.2 x and y 0, and I'm animating this twin offset as a curved animation. I'm passing my curve over here, and I'm binding. I'll say it in a simple word. I'm binding my animation twin with my controller as a parent. It will be a parent, and using that parent, I can actually access my animation. I can do a forward or reset it. I can reverse it using that animation controller. And it's the same thing I'm doing for animation reply icon. No, do not forget to dispose your animation controller or any kind of controller or any kind of listener if you have, whenever you done with your task. Inside that we have one slide transition widget in which we are passing our animation that we have created over here, this one. Okay, inside that we also have a gesture detector in which we are tracking a horizontal drag update, and using a delta we are getting a exposition of the delta, and when we swipe to the right, we are checking if the delta dot dx is greater than 1, then we will know that yeah, some we are doing a swipe to right, and we will tell our controller to move forward. Okay, and when this controller after this duration 300 millisecond, and it comes to this point, we are telling like when it completes, I mean that when it completes, so it will reverse our controller to it, so it will reverse our animation again. And same things over, I'm using a slide transition too for this container text. So yeah, this is all for basic it's kind of an introduction how we can actually implement animation in your Flutter application. This was only a basic introduction to animation, you can say that. I'm thinking of doing some more animation, creating a proper really good UI with really good animation, and yeah, I'll do it as a live kind of stuff only. I'll on stream it live. I'll probably not record it, and I'll answer your questions right away if you have any kind of. So I think we can actually end this stream now. So if you have any kind of question right now, so you can ask me over here. I'll wait for the 5 minute, and then I will end this stream. So yeah, beside of that, if you are preparing any kind of question, beside of that, if you I'm thinking of doing a series on mobx from scratch, from zero to hero. Well, I'm using mobx as a state management first state management library for any kind of project. I'm using it in my day-to-day life, so I'm thinking of doing a scratch, like a zero to hero kind of session in Hindi. I want to record it and want to upload it over YouTube. So if you want any kind of content in Flutter, so you can ask me. Okay, looks like we don't have any kind of questions, so I'll just end this stream. Thank you so much guys for joining me. Thank you so much for listening me. I hope I'm able to share my knowledge with you. I'm able to show you something. I'm able to teach you something that can help you. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye guys.